health, and wellness.
So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Walter Lee Coulter. He used his whole government name on y'all. Walter Lee Coulter, also known as Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. We are here every Wednesday, with the exception of last Wednesday because I was out of the country. We are here talking about all things dealing with money, how to make it, how to keep it, how to grow it, and everything in between. And today we're going to tie the issue of health to it. As you guys also know, Donovan does not sit in on this show, and he is still in the Dominican Republic over there having a good time. He might check in. I don't know if he's not busy. But anyway, while we're waiting for everybody to come on here, I would ask that you guys please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and everything in between. And so, as you guys know, when I talked to you guys on last Sunday, just kind of giving everybody a chance to come in here, giving you guys an update. When I came on here last Sunday with Donovan, you guys know that I had a very traumatizing experience. I was, and my daughter was accosted by that of immigration, where they were, I guess we're going to take us into custody because they thought we were Haitian. And so, luckily, we did not get, swept up into their immigration suite. A lady came across the street. I did not have my passport on me. Normally I did, but we went to the beach. You guys know the story. So I'm home. I'm on American soil where with the racism I'm used to. So I did make it home safely. Came home last night about 2 a.m. Got up. I was so happy to be here. I know that sounds strange, but I was. Hit the ground running, and here I am. And so, anyway, this is, as I said, the Demetra K Show with Walter. We promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always be better. This is probably one of the only shows that reads each and every one of the comments, but today I don't think we're going to get to all the comments because we normally give Walter the floor, but he does answer your questions. So if you have any question regarding finances or anything tied to it, please ask the question and he will be more than happy to answer it. And so let's see who we have here before we get started. One who cares, how you doing? Good evening to you. Donovan is probably watching, but he's still in the DR. Tracy, how you doing? GA Fit Health, what's going on? The Pioneer, what's going on? And Moni, thank you so much. How are you? Pioneer says, I hope you and your daughter are feeling much better. Says, yes, my daughter felt much better immediately after it happened. It took me a moment to kind of, really just inculcate and what happened, because it was, it's scary, right? And all right, so that's all I see here in the Moni. Yes, I will tell you which day that I will play your videos. I will pick one. You sent me a lot, but I will pick one. So anyway, Walter, what say you?
I'm saying a lot of stuff today, but today we're going to talk about money and health. Not necessarily, being, and I'm not talking about healthy money. I'm talking about your health. And I'm going to go over a list of things that most of us miss that we need to address. So I want you to think about this for a second. Think about when you see somebody that is healthy, or let me back up, somebody that is wealthy. Wealthy people tend to be healthier. Would you agree? Like when you see somebody that's wealthy, rarely do you see someone that is dealing with a bunch of health challenges, or they look worn out. When you see somebody that is going through it, right? Physically, you can just tell that those people don't tend to be wealthy. And when I say wealth, I'm just talking about control of money. You don't have to be rich, so to speak, to be wealthy. In my opinion, being wealthy is just having control of your time and money. And let me reach for a second. What do you say? Oh, I'm back from my car accident. Yeah, my neck, my back. Call Larry H. Parker. You best believe. am I moving too fast? my neck is all right, but my back does hurt. So the more you have your money in line, the less stress you have. Like, I'll give you an idea. You can bring home $4,000 a month and be totally what I would consider, I'm using the word wealthy as being in control of your money, right? Let's say, for instance, your bills are $2,500 a month or $3,000. You have $4,000 coming through the door. You can really live a comfortable life, right? Most places in the world outside of California and New York, you could live on $4,000 a month. You bring it to your man, bring it to you guys could do really well, right? So what if that $4,000 was residual, or it came through the door no matter what you did with your day, and your bills were only 3,000? Then you get control of your time. And so those people tend to do better because they're not, stress will wear you out. Stress will kill you. And the number one stress is what?
Men. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
that too. I mean, being a man, I can relate, but it's the lack of control of money, because there are a lot of people that have money that stress about it, but they don't have control over it. So, for instance, if let's say, I rent my house out for 5,000 a month, and it only take me 4,000 to live, I'm cool. I don't really have to do anything else. So, those type of people tend to do well. So today I'm going to go over some things you could do to protect yourself. Number one and two, some real quick things you could do to just get control of your money. So number one, I always do this, and I'm going to do this every time I speak, is always draw a T. Assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. Where do you stand? Right? Number one. Two, when it comes to knowing where you stand, go through your finances. This morning, I went through my credit card statements, and I found that Adobe had been charging me for a year for something I don't even use. And XM Radio was charging me $19 a month for Lord knows how long, and I didn't even sign up for it. So between those two, I was able to get back hundreds and hundreds of dollars just because I'm going through my stuff, right? Same thing with your bank, right? Like a lot of you guys that have banks, your banks hit you with so many fees, especially if you have the Wells and the Fargo. They're notorious. So I sat with my banker yesterday, and we went through all my bank statements, and we found $300 in fees. And she goes, Walter, boom, we put it back in your account. So yesterday alone, between Adobe, Sirius, and my bank, Jesus Christ, that was almost $700 that I put back in my name just by going through my statements and catching the mistakes. Because if you don't pay attention, people will hit you. Now, it's easier to do that if you have control of your time and your money, right?
Can you name your four little things again? Assets.
So in the top left corner, assets. On the bottom, liabilities. Assets, Al. Remember Al? Assets, liabilities. Which one was he? No, Al's an asset. We got you, brother. So, and then assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. You can do this. I do this all the time, right? So what are my expenses? So when I go through, and I'm going to shut my door really quick, because speaking of assets, all right. So I have a 19-year-old kid I hired. He took over my auto business. He does everything. All I do is buy him. I got back like 80 hours a week of my time by hiring this 19-year-old kid that does everything. So that's another thing when it comes to control of your time, right? So know where you stand. Go through your assets, liabilities, income, and expenses on a regular basis. I would continue to do that. Does that make sense? Because knowing where you stand from there, you can do all kinds of things. I'm gonna address this question, and I'm gonna get back to my thing. With a 700 credit score, you can do anything you want. The problem is, will you? A lot of people out there with good credit scared as hell. So, you guys, credit is everything. Credit and money, as far as being able to do things, right? So, for instance, I know when you have a 700 credit score, it's easier for you to get credit, of course, but your rate is low. That's good when you're trying to get things, when they're trying to run your credit. But when you go to start using your credit, your utilization will go higher, right? Otherwise, what's the point of having it? So when I buy things using my credit, my utilization sometimes right now, I think it's 80%. Because what's the point of having all that credit if I can't use it? Now, my credit score went from 720 to 650, but I have all this cash that I can use and do things with. You see what I'm saying? So it's good to have good credit, but sooner or later you got to put it to work. And I see a lot of you guys that don't use it, and we're not going to beat you up today, but just pull the trigger. So, health. Think about this. If all your bills were under control, what would your stress level look like? So, and sometimes you just have to let things go. Like me lately, I just started letting it go. Like there's a lot of things you can let go. Like I was running behind a little bit today. I let somebody use one of my cars and they didn't had no, I had to, put gas in it and whatever, do brakes and it needs a bunch of stuff. But I went out of my way, it took an hour and a half to do that. These are my friends, but like there's a lot of people I used to do that for. Now I'll just do it for a few people. You know what I'm saying? So I've started cutting out a lot of people that I would normally just run around for. All right, my good friends, I'll do shit like that. But like the everyday people I was helping. And here's the other thing. If someone is not giving you something back in return, don't do it. I know people say, oh, it's better to give to receive. Well said by the person that's doing the receiving. You ever hear that in church? Oh, it's better to give to receive. And the person doing the receiving is saying and holding the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
And driving a Cadillac with gators.
Driving in the back, looking over his shoulder, leaving the parking lot, almost hitting all the Christians. Switching 4 lanes. So take care. Make sure you get something in return. That's just my new motto. If I'm not getting something from it, I'm not doing it. I got too many kids, too many things to deal with, and I got too many goals and dreams this is greedy time. You know what I'm saying?
So tie in time, stress, and wellness. How do they correlate?
Well, so here's the thing. First of all, if you look at the word, and today we're going to talk about protecting yourself from disease, so I'm going to bring it up right now, is if you take the word disease and you break it down, it means dis-ease, uneasiness. And hip hop, if you get dissed, somebody's hitting you the wrong way. Dis-ease is just uneasiness. It's when the body is uneasy. So at my doctor lately said, hey man, you need to calm down. You need cut the stress out of your life. So I started deleting people on my phone. I literally started blocking people on my phone that would cause me stress. So dis-ease is uneasy. I always tell people, be easy, baby. Now you can use this corner right here. I always tell people, be easy, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to move my cigar box. This has nothing to do with bad health because you don't inhale. I don't want to hear that, right? Actually, cigar smokers live the longest. I'm just saying, right? So be easy. What that means is so-and-so says, hey, can I? No. The strongest word in the English language is no. Like I have 4 grandkids and all of them, the first word they learned effectively was no. I mean, with the no. So it's funny. George Burns was 100. He smoked cigars all day, every day. See what I'm saying? So I'm just kidding, but I do. And it's another thing. You have to enjoy your life, right? Do things that you like. This morning, I took my assistant, Asia the model, asiamonet.com. Check it out. And we went on this cruise through my old neighborhood I used to live at. There's a house that was 600 grand. Today, it's worth $2.2 million. Beautiful home. I should have stayed. Whatever. But I was telling her, I said, look at all these beautiful homes. Millions of dollars of homes. Look how peaceful it is. Imagine coming home to something like this. And I said to her, do you realize to have this? And not maybe you don't want a big home. That's just me. I want a big giant one. I said, to live in a $2 million house is only $9,000 a month. And she looked at me kind of crazy. But I said, like, we have a clothing line, Verbal Herb, 1,000 shirts a month at a $10 profit on the side puts us in that house for $2 million. It's not that complicated, right? Can you sling 30 or something every day for a $10 profit to live in the house of your dreams? Now, maybe it's not the house, but for an extra $9,000 a month, you could have Range Rover, each color used. Say hi to Asia, there she is.
Hey,
Catwoman,
Asia.
right? So, what if your house was only 400,000? That's most of the world. Once you get to 400,000, you're in a pretty decent house, right? So the point I'm making is, what if you work like hell and then you could buy your freedom? Does that make sense? Because once you get your money going, then you could do other things. You could buy your freedom. So going backwards to answer your question is, disease will kill you. And most of that comes from stress. Start telling people no. The number one no you can tell people, I don't got it. I don't got it. I tell my friends, my family, I don't care what you call me for, as long as it's not about money leaving my pocket. Now, if you want to work for it, sure. I lost a really good friend recently. He called me actually for $500. He goes, my wife, she gets paid next week. I said, I would slice my throat. That's what I told him. I would slice my throat before I called another man to borrow money and my wife could pay him back. It says, send me the panties. I'll give her the money directly. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like, come on, man. And
That's
we're
pretty.
boys.
I mean, that's just. I'm soaking it in because that is pretty deep what you said there. That a man who is your friend or your ex-friend, asked you to borrow $500 and his wife would pay it back. So it's like, where did he go mentally to muster the gall, if you will, to ask another man that and then put the responsibility on his wife?
It makes zero sense to me whatsoever. But people do that all the time. So I just start saying no. Absolutely. Another thing I used to do, and this is recently, the last 2 weeks, last 2 or 3 weeks have been, it's been a little different in my life. I've made some adjustments. But I'm like, I'm gonna start doing me. Like, what's something that you do that makes you happy that you don't do because you're trying to do something for somebody else or you care what they think about? Right? And there's no such thing as testing a friendship. I make it clear. I wake my black ass up. Look at Asia. She hear me up in the jacuzzi, working out, making noise. My ass is up at 5 a.m. What were you doing at 5 a.m.? You don't have to wake up at 5, but then you don't have to call and ask me for. That's not cool. Like, why would you think about this? In order for me to make $500, I gotta work all day. Okay, not all day, but you get the point. If I made $500 an hour, that's an hour I never get back. Like, why don't you go out and put in an extra hour like I did until you can get your own, borrow the $500 from yourself. So start telling people no. That will ease your stress. And then, like this morning, I was like, F it. Let's go cruise some $1 million homes. You know what I'm saying? That's something I wanted to do. So take time for yourself, number one, because that will decrease your stress. Start telling people no, and then know where you stand. I mean, some of you guys could let things go. Like, let them go. Either let them go or start flipping things, right? I'll give you a case in point. Speaking of making me feel better, Louis Vuitton, and do you know me? I'm not a Louis dude. Like, I don't spend money on designer handbags and stuff like that. But when I was in Poland, this Louis bag was sitting there. They wanted like $3,000 for this gray and black Louis bag. I was like, ooh, I almost bought it, but I had my girl with me. So you know what happens if you spend that kind of money and your girl's with you spending $6,000, right? So I didn't get it, but I wanted it. It's been haunting me. And I thought, you know what? I work 18 hours a day. I make decent money. Why shouldn't I grab this bag? So I agonize over it because I don't want to waste $3,000 because I could flip $3,000. So there's a site. I'm going to give it to you guys. I shouldn't even be telling you guys this. I'm going to tell you. It's called, actually, I'm going to tell you after I get my bag. So there's this website. No, it's called The Real Real. It's a bunch of bags. That same bag is on there for $1,500. But half price. So guess what I'm doing? You already know. I'm buying two. I'm gonna buy two for $1,500, sell one for $25 on my website, Facebook page, or whatever, and I'm gonna keep the other one. Does that make sense? So now you can have the bag because I don't believe in wasting money on designer bags. I think it's silly unless you have a way to afford it. But doing that is going to make me feel good. And I can put all my stuff in it and I can walk around. And when you get out of a Range Rover and you got a Louis bag, people treat you better. It sucks, but it's the truth. Am I right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So doing stuff for
Well,
you.
let me say this. I want to piggyback on that story. So, Walter used to work for American Express. American, what's it called? What did it turn
American
into?
Express.
American
Mhm.
Express. So you guys know, American Express has the coveted black card, right? You have to be making so much money to acquire this card. American Express does not like to just hand it out, and that includes to celebrities because it's exclusive, right? It used to be anyway. So Walter actually had a black card, and wherever we would go with this black card, people would just, I mean, almost like fall out, like, oh my God, you know, what do you do? What do you do to get the card? And how can I help you? And just, like at your beck and call. Now, one time, my sister and I and my daughter, I think we're in Vegas or something. We
Hawaii.
walked into, and we walked in, I think it was a Louis Vuitton store. Was not going to buy anything because that ain't my thing either. But we just walked in there, and everybody was ignoring us, right? Like they ain't got no money. And my sister happened to have possession of Walter's card, and she kind of pulls it out of her purse and was like, says to my daughter, she's kind of waving around nonchalantly. So, do you see a purse here that you want? But I tell you, they all ran over there. It's like, oh, how can I help you? What can we do for you? So, to his point, yeah, when you have nice things, it does suck, but people do tend to treat you better. But it was so funny. We didn't buy anything, by the way, but it was just kind of funny to see that.
They do treat you better. So what I would say is, and I'm shifting more as I get older, is do something that you want, but make sure you can pay for it. Because the thing is, and I was telling Asia, we were driving through this neighborhood, and I was like, the difference is these homes, these guys have been in these homes forever. It's old money, most of it. It just is. But I said, I want you to look around. Look how clean it is, how calm it is. I said, don't you feel better? Just like imagine just walking your dog, whatever, your aunt, whatever you got, walking it through the neighborhood. So now, so I'm telling her, like, here's how we get one of these houses. Here's what you do to put yourself in this position. So, like for instance, we somebody and you guys, if you have a newer car, some of these luxury cars, if you have the windows open, that tells the whole world that your car is unlocked. So somebody took the key from my Range Rover, and I was like, shit, they can't find the key. So we had to go to the dealer today and have them make a new one. And when we walked in, it was like, would you like some water? Sir, it was just, and she goes, whoa. Like I said, yeah, they treat you better when you have nice stuff. Now, the crazy part is you guys, we talked about this last week on your show. I don't know how many people went to Navy Federal or went out and got the car of their dreams. D, I know you did it, or well, you set up for it, right? You still doing it? We still doing the the thing? All right. So you guys can do this. Like I started the show talking about credit. Is I'm not the type to spend money on stuff like cars and stuff, but you can go out and get something that you want. All you got to do is find a way to pay for it. I don't believe you should buy a Mercedes or a Range Rover and dig into your paycheck to do it. I think you should find a way to make that work. You should create a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like the Range Rover, if you go to Ontario, California, and type in Range Rover, mine is the first one on the list. It's the only Range Rover in my neighborhood. And it's $200 a day. So I don't feel like shit because I'm spending $900 a month on this loan because somebody else is paying the payment for me. So I have the car that I want. It's on my dream board. It's right in the middle. And somebody else is paying for it. So now I'm in this beautiful car and it's not costing me a penny. My stress level is decreased because when they hit my bank account for $900 a month, I know that Turo in March put $2,000 there. Does that make sense? So they Navy Federal gets 900, I get to keep 11. And they gave me $20,000 because the car was only 34. They gave me almost $60,000. So you guys, if you're at home and sitting there, you don't have money, it's all your fault. 100%.
I totally agree. Totally. Totally.
Just so I want you to go when you see something nice. I want you to go. How many things do I have to sell, or how many things do I have to do to get what I want? Right? I was gonna say how many times do I have to spend? That's just the old me trying to die.
Let me ask you this. Speak to hustle. Because like you said, if you're sitting at home, and Donovan, we're gonna get you a question in just a second. Like I said, if you're sitting at home and you have no money, it's your fault. How does hustle play into that? And like, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make any money. What do you suggest I do? Because I already go to work from 9 to 5. So what else can I do?
You can wait if you have to be to work at 9 and you work at 5. At 6:30, you should be on your side hustle. That's it. There's nothing more to it. There's so many things you could do. It's endless. Even like fellas, you like to smoke cigars. Some of you ladies too. I bought this cigar in Texas. It was $6. In California, at the cigars place by my house, it's $14. I bought this at retail in a Specs in Houston for $6. In Cali, they sell it for 14. You know what I'm thinking? I told the girl, I said, how do I get a hold of your wholesaler so I can buy this at $3 and then sell it in Cali for 14? You see what I'm saying? So even that, and I'm doing the math, if I can make $10 a cigar times 1,000 cigars a month, it's $10,000 a month. I got my range and my beautiful home on the side, and my real money that I make isn't affected.
Okay, so really quick, answer Donovan's question because I want to put this one up. I know you'll have something to say about this one.
I don't, you know what? Twitter's dead. And here's what I mean by that. Twitter, he's buying it, taking it public so he can control the narrative. And he's going to use it for cryptocurrency exchange. Elon is the smartest dude in the world. But the crazy part is the whole world is talking about Twitter stock. It's on the news. You know who's not talking about Twitter? Elon Musk. You don't hear him saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy it.
You're right, because I went to his page today. He was talking about it when he bought it, but now he's, moved on to other stuff.
The whole world is talking about Twitter. First of all, most of y'all don't own it, so stop talking about it, right? And if you do own it, he's taking it private. It's going to be going anyways. He's going to buy you out, do a tender offer. So he bought it, and I think he's going to buy everybody out at $54. Now, if you own Twitter at $22 and he's writing a check at $54, then you're making $30 a share. Or if you got options, I mean, that's how you play that. But the rest of it is dead, right? So I want to say this name, Winona Souza. I like that. I like the way that sounds. The love of money, and I always get these comments, and so I'm gonna be gentle. The love of money is not the root to all evil. It's the lack of money. And when they say the love of money, they're talking about people that love money more than everything else. This is a good way to stay broke as hell for the rest of your life. Anytime, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be gentle because I don't know you, Winona, but that is what poor people used to say to me. People that didn't have it, people that didn't move, people that weren't in control of their life always say for the love of money. I hear that at churches, but churches have some of the poorest people in the congregation. You got all these nice cars in the parking lot, and y'all talking about the preacher, his ass, because he got all the money, and whatever the organization is, and black people are involved, Black Lives Matter, whatever it is, the woke movement, they got $1 million homes in the Bahamas, and we out here talking about love of money is the root of all evil. That's madness. Money is everything. Money and credit. Even some of you guys that believe in Christianity, in the Bible, they talk about money more than every other subject. Do you think that was a mistake? Do you think God came down and was like, yo, money, money, money? No, it's the human beings. The human being wrote that line for the love of money, but that human being, I guarantee you, was collecting money to build. Here's something else you guys need to do. Get out of the country. Go to Africa, go to Spain, go to Europe. When you leave the United States and you see all the cathedrals, like go to Poland and Germany. I was there in December. In Poland and Germany, they have cathedrals. If you go to oh my God, what is the name of this? Cologne, Germany, I believe it is. They have this huge, it took them 600 years to build this cathedral. It is city size. And they're everywhere in Europe, all these cathedrals. If you go to Europe, if you go to Africa, they have pyramids. Do you guys know what those were? Those are places of worship. Or a superior ruler saying, I want this pyramid. What do you think it cost to build that pyramid? Money. So money is not the root to all evil. And when we say the love of money, some of you guys will say that, but then go to work. Like, if you really believe that, don't punch your clock, stay home, right? Because I can tell you right now, if I stop giving my SCE cash, my lights will turn off. So do you guys yourself a favor. Please stop with the love of money stuff, right? It wasn't, number one, that's archaic and that's thousands of years old. The person that said that was on a hustle. I guarantee you, because money is everything. My preacher looked, what's her name? Sister Louder, Failure Louder.
Pastor P.
Pastor P. I did a seminar at New Jerusalem Church about money. And I was like, oh Lord, please don't strike me down. And then I was talking and I went into my poor mentality and I go, I know money is not everything. And Pastor P stopped me and said, Walter, don't sit up here and tell that lie. Ecclesiastes 10:19 ends with money controls all things. Winemaker is merry, feast is made for laughter, something like that. Mm-hmm. Money control all things. I don't know the scripture exactly. And she stopped me dead in my tracks. And this was at a church. But you know why? Because she's the owner of the church and it takes money to move. You know what I'm saying? So again, and D, don't put up any more of these. Let's keep the conversation positive. Matter of fact, take that shit down, right? If you want to DM me later, Winona, that's cool, right? Because none of y'all seen Jesus. And for those of you that really believe in Jesus, if you go to Europe and Bethlehem, the churches and the mega structures are so huge, you can't even fathom building those today. They make some of our churches look like roach motels. Those were all built with money. That is complete madness. And see, here we are talking about that shit. This is the problem with Negroes.
But you know what, though? I think it needs to be examined because, you know, it doesn't make her a bad person or anybody else who thinks like that, because it is indoctrination from, you know, religion. Let's say the Christianity, because the Bible is, you know, of the Christianity. And it does teach people. So it's kind of like bipolarism going on in the church. On one time, you know, hand they say, oh, you talk about prosperity to some degree, have faith, have faith in faith. Then it tells you that, you know, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And, you know, Jesus was poor and all this other stuff. So it's like people are confused, but that is sold and told to our people. And if you don't believe me, just like Walter said, look at the state of our people financially. We are at the bottom of the totem pole economically, even though we have so much money coming into our community, but we misappropriated it. To his point, you know, the pastor ain't talking about, oh, well, the love of money is the root of all evil, because let y'all come up short on that offering. He gonna make sure y'all stay until he gets what he needs. He ain't gonna say, well, we're gonna wait for Jesus to come and work it out. He gonna say, nah, y'all ain't leaving until y'all make these buckets overflow. And so that's something we got to get rid of here, right? Thinking that it's humbling and of honor to be poor. It is not, because while we think that it's okay to be poor, everybody else is running circles around us and you can't do nothing. You have no power without the money. And that's just the fact.
You guys, I take it one step further, and up to the point where I can care less about what people think. Because here's the deal. God, I sound like Joe. Help me. I think about my ancestry in the Africans. And I think, yes, Jesus rode on a donkey in the days. That was an SL 550. Believe that. So it's funny. And I hear people say, Jesus, you guys go to Greece, Santorini, and they have donkeys. These are not cheap. Trust me. And if you want to risk it, right up in the hills on one of these donkeys and lean against a cliff that's 1,000 feet down. Anyways, you guys, it takes money and power. Think about the Africans in Africa. When the colonizers showed up on these ships, and all the Africans that used their money to buy protection and weaponry, and these boats roll up, and they've got all these weapons and all these assets of power well appropriated. What do you think would have happened? What do you think would have happened if the Africans would have rolled over on their boats, and they were peaceful people, and sometimes peace is dangerous? What if you think they would have rolled up to Europe and said, hey, we're taking you as slaves? They would have got murdered, every single one of them. It takes money, power, and you need to protect yourself, period. I know with life insurance, and some of you, we talked about it, but people don't have it, and you die, and your kids end up with shit, and they start all over when you can pay $50 a month. Even, there's so many ways to protect yourself. And you guys, if you don't believe me that it takes money, try coming up with an illness. Start with that. And when the doctor says, oh yeah, we can treat you, but it's $1,000 of treatment and you need 42. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and by the way, to even find out if you got it progressively, it's going to cost you $8,000. And before that, it's going to be $775. And to sit down here, it's going to be $155. And that's just to get the party started. So people say, oh, I need to be poor. You can't be poor in this country. Like when you're poor in the United States, they move your homes without your power. They pull you over and do shit to you. Now, I'm not saying that you being rich, it won't happen. But chances are, if you got your stuff together, you act differently. I've been pulled over probably 10 times in the last 2 years. You know how many tickets I've got? 0. You know why? Because I hired a lawyer for the first one. And he goes, Walter, here's what you do. You go to court, ask for a continuance, 60 days. Tell me you got a medical challenge. And then when your time comes up, call in, asking for another continuance of 60 days. And then in 120 days, when your court date shows up and the officer shows up, he don't remember you. And he says, no recall. What that means is I don't recall the incident because it was 4 months ago and he didn't act like a nigga. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't hollering. He didn't give me a reason to remember him. So I don't remember the incident. No recall. And I'll walk my black ass out of court. Some of y'all act a fool because you don't have nothing to lose. When you have shit to lose and you get pulled over and you act like you got something to lose, your chance of getting shot is minor. Now, I'm not saying cops don't do that, but, and I'm going to switch gears here. I was going to talk about this next week, but I'm just going to bring it up. Every time a black person gets murdered, killed, falls off of a ride, who shows up?
Al Sharpton?
Not Al Sharpton, the bald-headed dude.
Oh, Ben Crump.
Ben Crump, how is he everywhere? I saw his bald head on TV. And when I saw the article about the kid falling off the ride, I said, I bet you Never Land, Ben Crump is going to be smiling on the camera. He wasn't smiling, but he was on one. And I was like, damn. Why don't some of that rub off on us that you need money and power? Because if ain't no money, Ben Crump ain't showing up. I promise you. Taisha Miller, not Taisha Miller. What was that? Breonna Taylor, they got $12 million. How much of that do you think he gets?
A third, probably at least.
At least of that. What's a third of $12 million? That's $4 million. And who represented George Floyd's family? And this kid, and on and on and on. He's a Gloria orator for the Jewish community. So don't tell me money is not important. Money is everything. But the point I was making earlier is if you got your shit together and a cop pulls you over, you're not stressing out. It will protect your health, right? He gets people paid. He does. My case in point, it's about the money, right? He gets people paid. But you know what I don't hear Ben Crump saying? And you can't tell black people this. If you get pulled over, stay in the car. Just chill. But so many of us, people, and it's not just blacks, it's Mexicans. A lot of people deal with shit like that. But damn, you get pulled over. You got your shit together. You go, I got kids, a family. I have my money in order. It's cool. This guy's pulling me over. Yeah, it's probably racism. But I'm not going to give him a reason to shoot me. Some of us act like we got nothing to lose. And so when you see the videos, the kid, they're shooting the kid or whatever, but he's running. It's an altercation. It's insanity. Why don't somebody say, hey, man, people, let's get our shit together. So when the cops pull us over, we don't have to run. You know, and I know that's a tough subject for some of us, But like, damn, like every time I see one of these videos, most of them, somebody's running or it's like crazy. We need to have our shit together, right? Some people get killed in cold blood. That's Jack. But having money will help with that. Look at this Asian law. There's so many Asian laws, I can't even keep my mind on it. How we got Asian hate bill? Like they got a picture of one Asian getting slapped or didn't die, didn't get cut, no blood, nothing. And we got an Asian hate bill. But black people being murdered and killed, doing it to ourselves, they doing it to us, and we got no bill. What do you think that is? It's cash. And some of you guys are like right now, interest rates on mortgages have gone from 3 to 6 if you buy an investment property. They've gone from 3 to 4, 4.5 if you're buying a home. Some of you missed and out the game. Right? You see what I'm saying? We are missing out. So now what happens to black people during the next downturn? We move further out into the bayous, into the hoods. We get pushed further and further out because when the economic downturn gets here, who gets hurt the most? Black people. You know why? Because we're sitting here talking about, oh, the love of money and shit like that, when it should be, I love to have money. I like it when my kids call and say, hey, Dad, you know what? I ran into some legal trouble. Can you help me? And I can take the day off and say, yeah, okay, I'll help pitch in for the attorney. That was madness. Or, hey, you know what? We found something in your lab work. We need to address this today. We need $800 today. I like being able to write that $800 check. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was money. I don't care what religion you are in or how you feel about money. I got hit in a car accident in Texas, T-bone. Car almost flipped over. Do you know what is on my counter right now? Bills from Houston Methodist in the Woodlands. They call me every damn day, Houston Methodist. The ambulance company's calling me every day. Everybody's calling me. I got a lawyer, so they're dealing with him. But what if I didn't have a lawyer? Who's going to pay $20,000 in medical bills for me being in the hospital 3 hours and getting a ride there? $20,000 for getting hit and riding to the ambulance and then let me out 3 minutes later, and I saw the doctor twice. They didn't even feed me. I had to go to the vending machine and put money in it. So where is the peace, love, and joy and soul train shit when the bills come? Like, you guys need to cut this shit out. Like, we are getting murdered and I'm trying to a lot of people feel the way we do, but right now I'm just talking to black people. I am embarrassed for you, for us going out. And we're like what the flood you guys had in Louisiana.
Harvey? Oh no, you're talking about Katrina.
Katrina. Like, the hurricane is coming. Get the F out. No, it can't go. The Lord's going to take care of me. We can't afford to leave. So we got our people spending the night in the Superdome, taking a crap in the bleachers. And we sit here and talk about money's not everything. Get your ass up early. If you wake up at 6, wake up at 5. And even if you wake up an hour early and just meditate. Do you guys realize in the NBA, what they do is they take their players and they shoot in their mind. They close their eyes and they take, not Shaq, but everybody else. They take free throws in their mind and they close their eyes and they take free throws without no ball, just in their minds. And then they have people that don't do anything. And then they have the guys that practice with the actual ball in the net. Do you know the guys that visualize it without the ball in the net do almost as well, making shots? So the point what I'm saying is if you wake up early, even if you think about it and you meditate on it, and screw what people say, oh, you're going to wish your way into dreams. Yes, because as you tell your mind stuff, it will start to come to fruition. It's called the reticular activator. Mm-hmm. If I want a bottle of water and I think about it long enough, I will see a bottle of water. But some of you guys out here, focusing on something, I can't even tell you what you're thinking about. And you're missing, in your own words, you're missing the blessing. You're missing whatever, God's given to you. You're missing it because you focus on crazy stuff. So there's nothing more important than money. I promise you, we turn off this podcast. Everything that I deal with today will one way or another have to deal with money. I call my kids. Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Let's have dinner. You know what that takes? Cash. One of us got to go to the grocery store. And I got to keep the lights on and, clean up. There's stuff we got to do. You see what I'm saying? So money, you can't name. Here's the thing. Go 2 days and don't talk about money. Don't spend money. Don't do anything that involves money. You know what you'd have to do? Go outside in the forest and just sit there for 2 days. That's what you could do because you can't sit in your house with electricity. You know what I'm saying? You could drink. I was gonna say, hey, big booty. You could drink. Somebody said water's not even free. You can't. Water's not free. Don't pay your water bill and see how much water you get. And good luck drinking Texas water or Louisiana water or Riverside water or LA. Please go ahead and drink some tap water. Tap water is not even free. It's not. So let me answer Brother Muhammad's question. Wealth and health go like this. If you are working on your money, and I mean control of it, not just having a bunch of it, but controlling it, where you're in control of it. Okay, I make $4,000 a month. I know I need to save $1,000, which means I can spend $3,000. When you focus on that, your health becomes better too, because people that are focusing on their wealth and getting their life in order financially tend to be healthier because they also brush their teeth more in the morning, in the day, and at night. They work out more. You see it. Wealthy people are skinnier because it becomes a habit. Their homes are cleaner. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you have your wealth together, it rolls over to your health. Vice versa. People that tend to be healthier tend to have more energy to deal with money, right? If you see somebody that's 472 pounds and a half, they don't have the energy to go get the money because they're tired and exhausted. Carrying like this water bottle right here is full. And I think if I'm correct, it weighs 2 pounds. I was 201 pounds 3 weeks ago. Right now, I weighed in at 184. I'm down 17 pounds in 3 weeks just by changing my diet and cutting alcohol out and stuff like that. I still drink a little, but not like I used to do. And I'm down 17 pounds. That was almost 9 of these. Here's what I want you guys to do. Take 9 water bottles, and this is 32 ounces. This is a full liter. Take 9 of these, put in a bag, throw it over your shoulder, and walk with it all day. Do that. That was only 17 pounds. This is 2 pounds. Do you know if I had to carry this water bottle around all day, how tired I would be at the end of the day? Some of y'all carrying around 100 of these, extra, 50 of these. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm down 17 water bottles or 8 water bottles, I feel better. I have more energy. So when you have more energy, you can do what? Make more money. That way you can protect your family. Some of us are going to have to move soon. They say by 2030, there's going to be a natural disaster every day.
Damn.
Every day, there's going to be a natural disaster in 2030. That's 8 years from now. They expect a natural disaster every day. Do you know who's going to get hurt the most by that? Black people. Because if you're living in a neighborhood and the weather is cool, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to move in, jack the price up. And the problem with black people and gentrification is when we stay, it's fine. But when we leave, that's when we get killed. Because if grandma leave you a house and you stay, and you fix it up and you keep it up, there's no gentrification and now the house that grandma paid $20,000 for is worth now $800. You still have that power. But it's when we move, sell, and trick off the $800,000 that we end up with nothing. That is gentrification. And you know what that has to do with? Money. Gentrification is all about cash. Because there's no gentrification if grandma leave you the house and you keep it, fix it up, and you refinance it and you go buy 2 other homes that pay this mortgage and you keep the money and you let those homes pay for your cars and your Louis bag and whatever it is that you want. The problem is you can't say shit to black people. And I'm just gonna be direct. We scared as hell. And I know, and I'm talking about all of us. Because there was a point in time I was scared because my folks and my family members were like, and even my pops, who's a gangster, my pops will try anything. But he used to tell me, man, slow down, stop chasing that money. I'm thinking my father used to chase money. So I'm waking my black ass up early in the morning, praying to Allah, to the east, west, north, and south, and working till midnight. And we would eat once, and I can't tell you what time that was.
At night.
I know, midnight. We were at the shop in the morning, and we were at the shop at night. And I remember walking my black ass from school to his shop, grabbing one of those pink rags, one of those little aprons, and sliding around on the the sliding around on the creeper.
Yeah.
Watching the Snap-on truck, the Snap-on dude show up with tools, watching customers come in, you know what I'm saying? Watching how my father dealt with the good and the bad. I learned all that shit. You know what I'm saying? From him. So now I was able just to transfer it. It's easier. But I took what I learned and I kept going. So many of us get something valuable and we toss it away. That's the problem. You guys, if you make a financial mistake and it goes really bad, try it again. Like, who's your favorite superhero? You know what I'm saying? Like overall, like for some people, it's Iron Man. I like Iron Man as one of my favorite superheroes because he's a man. It's something I could actually do is buy a suit and rock it. You know what I'm saying? And fly. That's something I could do. Or Batman because he says what do they say? What's your superpower? Batman says I'm rich. And so I go, I can have that superpower. So those are my two favorite superheroes. But Morton Downey Jr. was damn near a crackhead. He fell on his face and he's on his feet again. People love, but you got to make those mistakes first. So
you mean Robert Downey? That was like Morton Downey.
Oh, Morton was his father, right? Mm-hmm. Who gave him a gift, and Robert screwed it up, and then he came correct. Now he's hanging out with Alpaca in Malibu. So you need to just pick one thing that you like. Like for me, with like our clothing line, I was like telling my Asia, who's my model, like we need just to sell 1,000 pieces of clothing a month and keep $10. That's it. $10. We can make a shirt for $5. We sell it for $29 after expenses, because I'm gonna write off my house and everything that's involved in it. And legally I get to keep 10. 10 times 1,000 is $10,000 a month. Do you think we can, I was gonna say get together and kill Barney, but do you think we can get together and sell 30 or something a day? Like seriously. Like today, your job is to on the streets, on the corner, wherever you go, at work, Facebook, you need to sell 30 of something every day. That's $10 a day. It's $10,000 a month on the side of what you already do. Now, that's going to take you time, but you know what you can do? You guys, hire the kids. Right now, I got two 20, a 19 and a 21-year-old helping me with my businesses. And it was drama, but it's whatever. I'm going to kill these kids. But by educating them, sooner or later, you buy time. I was telling my agent, my assistant who actually lives with me, long story. I came in and all the clothes, my clothes were folded, my laundry was done. I was like, oh, shit, this is what I'm talking about. I said, thank you. That made my life easier. That I don't have to do, I ain't going to say she's going to do it all the time, but I didn't have to do it. So that means that hour I spent washing clothes, folding them, dealing with all that stuff, I could be doing something else, making money that keeps the roof over her shoulder more secure. So it's give and take. She's not just folding my clothes because I'm nice. She's folding my clothes because I am keeping the lights on in this house. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's give to get. I think that should be the rule. So develop your side hustle. Take some risk. Like we need to go for it right now. You guys, we need to do it, but we need to hurry up though, because interest rates are already up. Right now, everyone's talking about Twitter and all these things. Twitter is cool if you own it. But if you don't own Twitter, it's got nothing to do with you. Matter of fact, Twitter, for people that aren't ready, I think are going to be hurt by it. Because you know why? They're going to open up free speech. and people will get to say, and maybe Elon won't let it go that route, but if it's private, he can do whatever he wants with it. Imagine this for a second. You have you're Elon Musk, and you have a platform with hundreds of millions of people on it. And all you have to do is go, hey, people, boom, here's what we're doing today. And Elon, you know how he bought Twitter? He borrowed it from Morgan Stanley.
And he's worth over $260 billion.
He borrowed the money to buy Twitter. Think about this for a second. Elon's not paying for it. People say, well, how does he do that? Elon's got good credit. He's got phenomenal credit, and he's got history. So you guys build your credit, and somebody said they had a 709% utilization. Take that utilization to 80 and use it. I'm not saying just take it to 80 with Louis, unless you're going to buy bags and flip them. Take it to 80. Take it to 80 and flip that money. You guys use the credits. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said something about Elon Musk and Tesla and black people. You guys, black people, we have problems with everything. You know why? Because our foundation isn't there. That's it. Our foundation's not there. So we have problems with everybody. Every organization you could think of, there's a black person that has sued them for race discrimination. Almost all of them. Here's the crazy part. You want to switch gears? Speaking about health, I watch Good Health, Good Hair with Chris Rock. Because my sister's like, oh, he's mean to black women and the documentary. And so I watched it, which I don't have that kind of time, but I watched the whole documentary while I was hitting the weights. And I'm like, I didn't hear Chris Rock say anything negative about black women. Matter of fact, if you watch the documentary, it sounds like he was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why would you put something in your hair? He's telling my daughters, yo, you're beautiful no matter what. Like, do you realize the chemical that we put in our hair to straighten our shit? If you leave it on a piece of chicken, it will eat through. And the guy goes, Donnell and then Bonner, the Bonner Atlanta Hair Show, goes, black people spend more money on hair than anything else. Now, if your hair is done, as you can see, my sister's hair is well maintained. That costs.
My daughter did it.
And even if she spent money on it, I know that's not her number one priority. Do you see what I'm saying? So, black people, why don't we sue? Yeah, keep putting that money in Thunder. We appreciate it. Right, Queen? Now keep dropping that money because it takes money to do this. What if we went after ourselves and said, no, we're not spending $400 a month doing our hair? Right? I mean, we're not going to spend $2,000 in hotels and travel money to go to some hair show unless we do, in addition to that, another seminar to take care of our money to learn how to be able to afford good hair. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we need to be more responsible. That's it. Black people, I tell you, with the next correction, natural disaster, we are going to be pushing goats. And the sad part is, black people, we have so much money. We have a fortune as a people collectively, but we can't, like, I called one of my friends, my Mexican homie, Edna, and I said, hey, we have this property in Joshua Tree. We're building a house there, and we're going to put 4 to 8 of these little homes on it. They're like $30,000 to $50,000 each. And I was like, let's have drinks and dinner, and I want to go over a plan so you can help me buy one of these homes. I said they are anywhere, it depends. The nice ones are $50,000. So the payment on them is $500 a month, but they rent for $250 a day in 2 days. In 2 days, they pay for themselves. And the other 20 days that they rent out, because Joshua Tree, the occupancy rate is almost 80%. So it's 80 times 30 is 24 minus 2 days. If you got 22 days minus some other expenses, you got 20 days times 250. How much money is that? It's $5,000, I think. If I got 8 of those at $5,000, how much money is that, people? It's $40,000 plus the $500 a night from the house at 20 nights. There's $50,000 a month from one piece of property. And you know how I'm building it? With my credit. And I'm calling everybody, hey, how much you got on the house? We're building this property and we're going to collectively build this resort. We're digging a pool. olive, avocado, pomegranate trees, it's going to be off the hook, and everybody can participate. I went through all my black friends, and I said, I'm going to call my people first. I went through every single one of them that I thought would invest. You know how much money I got from them? What did Gary used to say? I ain't going to say not a goddamn thing. Now, they're thinking about it. But my question is, why are we so fucking scared? I call my Mexican homie. She's like, yeah, I'm down. Whatever. It's only money. People, it's stuff like that we can split money, and all we need is decent credit and to put our money in. You can finance these things at $500 a month. I don't know if my credit will let me buy 8, but I'm going to do my best to buy all 8. But if I'm reaching out, and this is what Wall Street does. Goldman Sachs, like Elon bought Tesla. By the way, Elon did not create Tesla. He bought Tesla. He bought into Tesla. He bought in. This is again, Elon did not start Tesla. He took it over. Like T. Boone Pickens, if you remember Gulf Oil, some of you guys still have, I think, the Gulf signs down in the South. Mm-hmm. T. Boone Pickens created the leverage buyout. He says, I want to buy this phone. It's $1,000. I'm going to borrow $1,000, buy this phone, and pay $10 a month. But this dude's going to pay me $50 a month to use the phone. So I'm paying $10 a month to purchase this phone, but I'm making $40 on the spread. It's called the leverage buyout. T. Boone Pickens did it. Elon did it with Twitter. He borrowed the money to buy something that's going to pay him. And Twitter is going to be off the hook. Watch Twitter next year. Arson, I hear what you're saying, my brother. Let's speak loudly with the green, right? And you guys, you don't need a lot of money, but think about this. What if that property fell on its face and I only made $5,000 a month? $5,000 a month as a side hustle does what for my life? Does what would $5,000 a month do for you? Every month, $5,000. And you guys, you know what? With Airbnb, you have a cleaner. Like my house, a lake house, my cleaner does it. My sister cleaned it for me once. That wasn't cheap. My cleaner don't watch my Facebook Live.
I will tell you this. I did a much better job, but no shade. No.
I gave my sister $300 for something my cleaner charged me $125 for. But it was my sister, and I figured she could make some money. She would help me. My cleaner took off. Her kid got a bloody nose or something, and D stepped in. It cost me more money, but somebody in my family and my race got to keep the money. So I'm sure my sister was thinking, damn, $300, what would it take you? 3 hours?
3 hours. In all fairness, I live kind of far. I mean, I probably could make it work, for $300 a time. Yeah, I make it work.
I'm not paying $300 a time. I'm just saying that time. But think about it. An hour each way, 3 hours, that's 5 hours for $300. That's $60 an hour. Just think about that. If you did something like that for somebody every day for an extra $300, that's $1,500. That's $75,000 a year by making $300 on the side. What's up? Oh, I'm gonna say your name right, Aika. I'm screwing it up.
AJ.
Huh?
AJ.
Oh, AJ. Okay, all right. Of course, it was something simple like that. What up, AJ? You can go back and watch it. But if you can make $300 a day on the side, that's $75,000 a year. That's $6,000 a month. So how do I make $300? I find something with a $10 spread, and I do 30 of them. You know what whatever it is. You get the point? And I'm not talking about working every day. I'm only talking about working 5 days. So do that. Find something like, I was going to say, I'm going to digress. I was going to say you can sell these nuts. These are almonds. I'm sorry. They were just sitting in front of me. Yo, what should we sell? These nuts. They're really nuts. I promise you. They're like, when we hang up, I'm going to eat them. Some of them. But seriously, you guys, if you watch one of my favorite shows is Selling Sunset, about real estate show in LA. And one of the guys that is buying like a $5 million house sells nuts for a living. He owns a pistachio farm and is buying a $5 million house selling these nuts. You see what I'm saying? So, and I remember going, damn, pistachios, there's that much money in pistachios? Of course there is, right? Do you think it costs $10 to make these almonds? No, it didn't cost $10 to make these nuts. But this is what, is what this bag of nuts cost. These bag of nuts probably cost $1, right? But these nuts, somebody made $9 times times 30 is $300 a day. You know what I'm saying? Times every day is 10,000 a month. It's 120 a year. It's like, come on now. Like, I'm gonna go out and sell these nuts. I'm gonna ask for $12.50. I know it sounds crazy, but like you could do that. These candles. I bought these candles in Texas at your Kroger, and I was like, all right. I bought it because I'm starting a candle business, so I'm gonna see what they do. But whatever, you guys sell something. Like, it's crazy to me. Selling, I don't care. You guys, everything around you is sold. Everything. Even this comment on the screen is somebody's buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? So everything around you, you can move. Speaking of fellas, I'm gonna talk to you. Roasted and lightly salted. There you go, salted. Now they're $11. This is a good book, The Way of the Superior Man. For you fellas, or you women that act like the man in the relationship,
Damn.
You'll give this to your man. Unless there's two women, then one of y'all probably should read this. This is a good book. Like, seriously. And I know some of the women in the relationships are the strong ones, and we can change that, because I really think women want to be taken care of and their life needs to be made easier. It's just me. I don't want to get like hate mail over it. I think it's a way for a man to take care of a woman. This is a good book. It talks about how to deal with emotions and all kinds of stuff. It's a phenomenal book by David D. I mean, you can read, right? Just little things like this book will take you 2 days to read, or 3 or 4 days, depending on how, what you are, what your time is like. But start with something small. And you guys, I really do want to I want to start an investment club, but not like, people putting in 10, 15, $20. I don't want to do that. Normally when I do a podcast, they'll say, I got $15. What can I do with it? I said, put it in the bank, turn it into 1,500 and call me back. Right? Like, let's start doing something. And I always say this on these shows, and then I get, everyone else calling me, people of color. I have somebody coming over my house right now that wants to talk and do something financially. She's not black.
You said some people of color, meaning not black.
Yeah, I'm trying to, even it out a bit more, but mostly it's us. Because the girl that's coming to my house right now is Mexican. She's like, Walter, I'm ready. I have a 750 FICO score. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm too old. I'm 40. I'm too old for a man to take care of me. I can't. Too old for a sugar daddy. So, like, I got to take care of myself.
And become a sugar mama.
Become a sugar mama. Then you could have 2 dudes. That dude that you talk to, and that, whatever. I don't know. And women don't act like you don't have 2 dudes sometimes. I know you do. You got the emotional dude, and you got your whatever. So, but I've been telling her for a year, it's time to move. And now she's like, I'm ready. That's it. So let's stop being scared. Miss me with the root of all evil. It should be a crime, and it should be evil not to have money when you could go get it. Now, if you don't have money and you're struggling and you're working your ass off, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person that works 9 to 5, and at 6 o'clock they're complaining about what they don't have. And right now, there should be no reason why you can't make money. Like, I know even Chipotle is paying, is it $21 an hour?
They might be. I think Target is now. And
Target is paying $21 an hour. That's $40 an hour. That's $1,600 a month. Come on, y'all. That's $80-something thousand a year. I'm not saying go work at Target, but damn, if you work at Target, you and your spouse, could you live on $80,000 in a household all day? I mean, D, can you live in your house for $80,000 a year?
Easily.
Right? If you were spending $7,000 a month in the house you live in, you'd have 3 Range Rovers outside. You'd be putting away $2,000-$3,000 a month in the bank.
Or I might just wake up late one day and not be running around hustling.
That's what not working at Target. They're gonna tell you when to show up. I'm not saying they're gonna do that, but I'm just
That's why
saying,
I couldn't work at Target.
yeah. But do you know who's having a hard time hiring people? Target. Everywhere I go, help wanted. Even McDonald's is paying $15. I'm not saying to go do that. I'm just taking it down to the comment section, to the the love of. So some of y'all that think money is the love of all, whatever the roots, then go punch a clock for Mickey D's. Makes no sense to me. The owner of a McDonald's historically makes almost $1 million a year profit from a McDonald's. If you own a McDonald's and you can't even buy one now, you make $1 million a year. I pay you $15 an hour, and you make $600 a week. I pay you $30,000 a year, and I make $1 million. But I never hear anyone going after the McDonald's dudes or the people that own what's the black hair company. There's not much. Revlon, a lot of these companies, the black owned hair companies have
Yeah,
just
there's a few, but they usually like sell to a white corporation.
yeah. What is it? Is it the Dudley Mansion in Atlanta? The Dudley Hair Care.
I think North Carolina, maybe.
It's somewhere back that way. The Dudley Mansion is huge, and it's built on hair care products. And something I hear black women say that they are, I'm proud of my hair. Then why in the hell how's there a Dudley Mansion? And how are they the guys like we make millions of dollars because black people spend more on their hair than anything else? Right? I start talking about investments, it's a wrap. I mean, I always tell people I'm gonna bore the shit out of you. I'm gonna start talking about wealth and security. So start there, start a little side hustle. For those of you that really want to try and do something, I mean, I'll take phone calls all day for those of you that are serious about money. I don't want to hold hands and boom shakalaka. I don't want to do no shit like that. I just want to get to the money. I have kids and friends, and there's churches by my house. If I need to go and deal with that side of the world, but like when it's here, let's just do it. You guys, and seriously, like you won't go into Chase and say love is the root is all whatever. I can't even bring my lips to say that stupid shit.
Love of money, the love of money is the root of all evil.
You walk your black ass into Chase and be like, love of money is the root of all evil. And gonna be security. Get this Negro out of here.
I just got a visualization of somebody doing that.
It blows me away. Some of y'all, you worked at Chase. You know how they do people of color. And the crazy part is, Chase Manhattan helped finance slavery.
Yes, they did.
Come on, I don't have an account at Chase anymore. I think I got one more account. I'm about to close their ass too. They finance slavery. Like, you guys don't think about these things. Like, money is the only reason why black people were slaves, because we didn't have our money set. We didn't have weapons lined up on the coast. Go to Croatia, where they filmed the Game of Thrones, and go to Dubrovnik, Croatia. The whole city is walled off. Like you see the Game of Thrones, it's true. They have the wall, the drawbridge. We went there it was one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I have yet to go to Africa. It's something that's on my list. But man, you know what a lot of those cities have? Fortresses. Because if the enemy shows up, we are blasting them with bombs and with all that stuff. They're all, even the Acropolis in Greece, it was a bank, but they had weapons around it. So we, as people of color, seem to be one of the only people that didn't have weapons.
We like to call ourselves black people around here.
Black people, I'm just trying to keep it, what I'm saying? It's because there's a lot of, there's some black people that got 2% black in them. So, I guess that make you black, right? So what if we focused on that? I'm not saying your every thought should be money, but you should realize that your every thought is controlled by money. I want to have lunch today. You want to go to the Ritz-Carlton and have lunch? That's money. Hey, grandma, do you want me to come pick you up and take you to get your nails done? That costs money. Hey, we're going to church today. That definitely costs money. Man, I tell you, if I was broke, I wouldn't walk into church. I couldn't afford to go to church. I've been to some beautiful churches and they passed the bucket. I went to one church and they had the front row saved for the biggest tithers. The front 2 rows. That's not cool. You guys telling me that money is the root to all evil, but you got a VIP row for your big money people in church? If Jesus was here, that's one of the temples he would have turned upside down. So let's start by getting rid of that rhetoric. If that's what you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But do not confuse wealth and religion. Religious people have money. The Crystal Cathedral, which is 30 minutes from my house, is made of crystal. You remember the white dude on TV, Robert? What's his name? Oh my God, you know what I'm talking about?
I know he's talking about.
The old dude with the slick back hair, the gravy, in that little suit. He be all mellow. The Crystal Cathedral.
I know you're talking about, but I can't think his last name right now. It slips my mind.
Yeah. How much do you think it costs to build that church? Or Harvest? Or some of the TD Jakes, who, by the way, has a clothing line, doesn't he?
Probably.
Or some TD Jakes is making money all over. Every time I see him, he's suited and booted.
Robert Schuller. Yes.
Robert Schuller. His Crystal Cathedral is made of crystal. Come on now. Even TD Jakes is cashed up. Tyler Perry, who cannot, he's very religious, he talks to Jesus and religion to his shows, but what does he charge you before you get into the show to hear about the word? You got to come with the cash before you hear the word. And that's it. So everywhere you go, it's cash. So if we wake up and go, like one of my friends, she's young, she goes, Walter, I'm worth a couple mil, but I wake up every day and go, oh shit, I'm broke, I got to move. She goes to bed wealthy, but wakes up broke mentally because she goes, I got to get it. My daughters, my kids, everybody needs me to be on my A game. I can't afford to take a break. Now, she's comfortable, but she knows the way the world is. Having a couple million may not be enough. She may need 3 or 4, right? Those of you that wanted an all-blue administration, oh no, please tell me there's not an ATM in it. Of course there's an ATM in the church lobby. Venmo, I give some of these churches got Venmo, Cash App going across the screen. Man, don't get me started with Creflo Dollar. That's my man. Man, even his name is Creflo Dollar. Like, man, it pains me. I feel like a beaten down, like I've been on the cross or something. It pains me to see Creflo Dollar on stage and people eating that shit up, and they're poor as hell. Like, the fact that you have to keep praying for a financial miracle says enough about your association. Don't ask God for money, because he's not doing that. What God is doing, in my opinion, I'm just saying, I think he gave you the power to go out and make money. And you guys, unfortunately, money is what we need. But some people say, money, capitalism is evil. No, it's what people do with it. Because the churches, they used to go around and do crusades and they used to kill people. Right? Like the Muslims and all the jihad and all the stuff we talk about now in the media. What do you think the crusades were? See, that's why you guys need to travel. Do Africa, of course. You got to do all that. But go through Europe. Hit some of those churches. You guys realize in Europe and a lot of the churches, they have black people on the wall. In this church, this cathedral I went to in Germany had a black Jesus on the wall.
And we got white Jesus on the walls in our houses over here.
Now, when you go to Germany, especially some of these places that I went to, Bonn, and so, there's like 6 black people. But they have, and they're not black, but they're dark. They're people of color. You can go through the European museums and see black queens and kings on the wall. Before in France and Spain before 1492, and Isabel and the chasing of the black bull and all that shit that you guys think is so cool. There were black kings and queens. They're on the walls in Europe as we speak in the museums. So So don't tell me that money is the root. It's not the root. You not taking care of your family, you not having enough money, or the drive to fight for it is the root to all evil. Because you know when people do evil shit? When they don't have money. A lot
Better
of it.
preach. Better preach.
Yeah, there's some Wall Street bankers and some, they're crooks. Wall Street, those guys are all crooks. Crooks, and most of them don't get caught. But when those guys get away with it, don't they? Don't they get away with it? Because when you have money, you have power. I'm saying to break the law. But I'm saying, come on in age. I'm just, don't be delusional. Just, you are the only, my father would, I know he should come on me one day, but this would be the comedy, like Black Power Hour. He, like, he's like, none comes to, what's he say? None comes to
a sleeping but a dream.
Like, he used to always tell me, he used to always talk about the spook in the sky. And the reference, like, no, he used to always say, heaven is on earth. Like, you are in control. Stop giving your power to a deity that has already given you power. You see what I'm saying? You have power. Say what's up to Thomas. So, man, he out there working hard like Michael Jackson. No, I kidnapped my son's, one of his buddies from school. So, he's making $500 a week. Last 2 weeks, he's made over $2,000 in 2 weeks. It blows me away, you guys. Like, go get the kids and let's teach them. Some of you guys as kids are sitting at home watching YouTube and TikTok. They need to have their ass up. Stop being easy on your kids. Make them get up. Thank God my father had me in his shop 20 hours a day. I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't, at the time I was like, oh, here we go again. But my God, and I don't work the hours my father worked. My father was never home. When I say he was home, but I don't remember him like coming home at 5 a.m. My father was sitting home watching TV. I don't think my father ever watched TV. I can't tell you one day I saw him watch TV.
It watched him because he would fall asleep.
He'd fall asleep in front of TV. Thank God my father showed me that worth ethic. I don't know what I would do if I was working a job and making $40,000 a year and complaining to politics and saying we need Joe Biden to fix my shit. I would kill myself.
Well, damn.
I would. You guys, seriously. My God, like, it's so easy to make $300 a day. It is. Sell something. Do something. You tell me you can't make $300 a day on the side. The problem is you don't believe in yourself. Get your ass up. Wake up early. You get up at 5, 6, meditate, do what you got to do. Come 7 or 8, you have your ass at work. That's it. And then when you get home at 5, 6 o'clock, and then you take a lunch break, you have dinner, and you move to business number 2. You start with your side hustle. You see what I'm saying? That's where you make your $300. I don't care what it is. Like, could we make 100 candles a day in my kitchen? Hell to the yes. My issue is right now is finding kids or finding people that want to wake their ass up and do it. I told my sister, my folks, I said, hey man, I'm done effing with my people. There's gonna be some Asians up in here. They got hate laws to protect them. Shit, ain't gonna be no violence up in here. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what you do. I mean, I'm watching this hair show for the black hair show, and Chris Rock is like, what's with all the Asians? Y'all telling me y'all got a black hair show and you buying your shit from the Asians? Come on, man. Like, you're killing me, Larry. Anyways, like, somebody's really trying to get a hold of my ass. So, anyways, you guys, cut out 2 or 3 hours a day and focus on just making money. And if you slept 9 hours last night, shame on you if you're not straight. Period. What is this? The state of the Lutheran Church in Chicago? They probably got money all over the place. I'm not saying to follow the devil. That's not where I'm going with that. But like,
well, shit, some people going to church, they are really following the devil and just don't know it.
Yeah, there's a good book. What's that book we talked about, D?
Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil. Read Outwitting the Devil. It will change your mind. It will blow you away. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. His wife, they waited till he was dead to publish the book, so he didn't get these days the Twitter nation, the comment section. Back then they would just kill you. But that is probably one of the best books, along with The Slight Edge, that I have ever read. So, anyways, guys, it is money. And take 3 hours a day, and you guys have it. Take 3 hours a day. You wake up an hour and a half earlier. You wake up and stay up an hour and a half later. Or cut off an hour and a half of TV. Like, I used to watch Netflix and binge and watch me and my girlfriend would sit here and watch a whole season in one day. I mean, we did that with the Mrs. Maisel. We watched the whole season in one day. I was like, okay, next episode. You know what I'm talking about. We've all done it. But damn, don't do that every week. Every day you're watching the whole season. Take 3 hours of your day and say, what can I buy and sell? I'm Mr. Walmart, or I'm Mr. Hair Care Products, Soul Glow, whatever it is. What can I do to make $300 today? But that's going to take energy waking up. And if you start making more money, first of all, even if you only made $100 a day, that is still $3,000 a month. That is a mortgage on a $400,000 house. Like, yo, some of you guys are $100 a day from being in Texas for $400,000. You got a house. My buddy JP Ramsey just bought this 6,000 square foot home for $570,000. It is. I'm waiting for Nino Brown to come out the back door. It's so huge. And he's like, Walter, you can't believe it. It's amazing. For the house that I'm in, which is way smaller, costs more than his house that is 6,000 square feet. It's insane. And it's a few $100s a day. Your side hustle could pay for. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy this big house, but some of you guys need a new car. And I don't mean new, like, or go to the dealer and get beat. But some of you guys just need, like, go out and get you nice stuff. And you don't really get to hear me say this. But man, like I was telling Asia when we dropped off the Range Rover, I was like, this is nice, isn't it? To be in this beautiful car. We drove up to Range Rover so they could fix the key. They treat all the Range Rovers as clean. And we drove through these multi-million-dollar homes. And I was just like, isn't this better? You don't need to have that. See, there I go talking like poor people again. If you want that, you should have that. But make sure you got your other stuff straight. But let your side hustle pay for your Range Rover. Let it pay for your, you know what I'm saying? And $1 million in California is not the biggest house, but $500,000 in Texas. Some of y'all have your friends and family out there living in slums and shit. You could buy a house for $500,000 and put 4 or 5 of these. Some of y'all don't want your family in the back, but let's say you did. You got Roscoe in the tiny home. He cutting up like a mug. But some of y'all get beat. And that's the other thing, y'all. With Black people, we got to get along better. We got to do better. Roscoe, get it together. For $500,000, you could buy a beautiful home. And in Texas and Louisiana, some of y'all got land. You could put some of these tiny homes, and you could have your maid in one, your driver in one, some family members. You could have 4 or 5 of these people, 2 servants or people that help you. And you could have family members, and y'all could be pitching in on a $3,000 mortgage. You realize for every $100,000 you spend, it's $500 a month. So if you're spending $500,000 on a mortgage, you're spending $500 a month for just the mortgage and then whatever extra stuff on the side. So for a $500,000 mortgage, you're with taxes and insurance, maybe not taxes, but you are in a $500,000 crib for $3,000 a month. That means 10 days of the month you made $300 on the side. That means you woke your ass up earlier and you went to work. That's it. And it ain't gonna feel good all the time. You guys, I want to wake up at 7 and lounge around and hit Netflix. I do. I want to eat a bowl of cream of wheat. Actually, I can't eat like that anymore. And none of y'all should eat like that anyways. Jesus Christ, if you read the back of a box of cream of wheat, and they already took the brother off the box, so shit, get rid of the box too. Yeah, Man, y'all woke nation, y'all need to quit that shit out. I like Uncle Ben. I like seeing black people own boxes. What was wrong with that? Man, we doing it to ourselves. I like seeing Aunt Jemima on the bottle. I used to buy it because there was a black woman on the bottle. And y'all didn't kill it. They're gonna put an Asian on the bottle. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen an Asian eat syrup. Like, we gotta like treat ourselves better. So get the money, get you, and you guys need help. You can DM me. My sister knows how to get a hold of me. As long as you're coming to me correct about money, I'm down. I'm like this because if I'm helping you, like my sister, we built her credit. She had good credit anyways. We just showed her how to use it. Now my sister's sitting on tens of thousands of dollars in credit. She can go buy a couple cars. She can like like she can hit a credit card and make a closing cost on a little house somewhere for 150,000 and rent it out. She has power now. She can do all kinds of stuff. Now what she's got to deal with is fear.
What's that? What's that?
You know what I'm saying? That is fear. And actually $1 million in California will still buy you a home. But let me tell you why homes are $1 million in California. And I think about this every time I go to Texas, is the weather is perfect. The traffic sucks. But like the weather, they say it's going to be 80 degrees, it's going to be 80 degrees. And I don't see my neighbors floating down the street in a boat. I still love Texas better, but you get the point. So yeah, you guys, those are some of the things we need to focus on. No fear. Some of you guys, black people, are the most scared people in the world. We are so goddamn scared. It blows me away. We've been through slavery, this, that, every oppression you could go through. We survived. But when it comes to pulling the trigger with money, oh, my parents were shitty. I don't know. Emotionally, I can't control myself. Like, what the like? I don't understand. If you have a 700 FICO score and you can go out and borrow 50,000, I would tell you to go out. Look at Kamala with COVID. Ain't that some shit? Anyways, go out. But she got money. Her COVID, she ain't gonna die from it. Money and everything. So if you can borrow $50,000, go borrow that 50 and invest in something. So let's say that $50,000 is costing you $1,000. The question would be, what could you do with 50,000 bucks? Those of you who follow me on Facebook, I took a video of remember that black Bentley at the auction I took a video of? Do you realize that Bentley sold for like $38,000? Black Bentley, black interior, chrome rims, beautiful black Bentley. It was an '08. But do you know on Turo? First of all, if you buy the Bentley for 38, the bank will give you 50. So you got the Bentley and you put it on Turo and let them drive the Bentley at 300 a day. You keep the extra money and the cash flow and you got a Bentley. You see what I'm saying? Or you take 50,000 and you buy one of these homes with me, and that it costs us $500 a month to own, but we're making. Am I talking too much? Like, damn, is it making sense? Like 50,000, buy you a home, one of these little tiny homes that pay you $200 a day, $250 a day, and in 10 days you got 2,500. You know what I'm saying? In 20 days you got 5,000. It costs you 500 to make to have, but you make 5, you keep 45,000. Some of you 4,500. Some of you with $4,500 a month, it would change the way you talk to your mama, your father, your kids. You would change the way you treat yourself. Do you imagine this? Every month I can, and I know you have it already. I come over and I put $4,500 in your checking account. Every month I show up and say it's $4,500. Think about what that would do. Even just thinking about it. Just the thought of it. Make a nigga want to do the jig. You know what I'm saying? I said I was gonna stop saying that word. It's so awful. But like that, I just gave you guys a math. And if you don't have the credit, do what they do. Put in your mama's name. Put in your cousin's name. Like, I put real estate in my sister's name in the past. We got killed. But that experience has taught us what and what not to do. And leverage is key. Leverage is, you guys, the fastest way to get wealthy is through leverage. Leverage is the ninth, eighth, whatever it is. I know they call somebody. Oh, Tom Brady's the eighth wonder. But leverage is the ninth.
Stevie Wonder's the eighth wonder.
Tom Brady's the ninth wonder. Leverage is the 10th wonder. of, yeah, Stevie Wonder is a wonder. He blind can't, I ain't gonna go there. Leverage is the fastest way to create wealth. When I built my credit and I start borrowing money and flipping it, my lifestyle improved. It is insane. Leverage. Get your credit right. You can borrow 2,000, and then you use that 2,000 to buy something small, and then you turn it into five. You see what I'm saying? And then you pay your credit card, and you go out and get two or three, and before you know it, now they're giving you 10,000. Venmo, Best Buy will give you a credit card through Synchrony if you haven't screwed up an account with them. They'll give you money all day. And so now you have money, and then you could flip it, build your credit. Like, think about this. Let's say you called everybody, and you got to do the right thing with it, though. I'm not, just don't go ask people for shit and don't do, don't put it to work. Let's say you borrowed 100 grand from friends and families. Do what churches do. Pass the bucket to the left-hand side. And you go out, and I'm just talking about property right now because it's such a hot topic. And you go out and you buy two of something that pays you $10,000 a month. That's $20,000 a month. Am I talking too loud? Like, I feel like we hear you. I mean, help me, Jesus. 5 and 5 is $10,000 a month. How much money did I put down to buy these little homes? Zero. I built my credit, and I gave them my credit and my bank statements, because when I make money, I run the money through my bank statements. I rarely pay cash for shit. I run it through my bank statements, and I use my credit card. I don't use my debit card unless I'm at Arco somewhere. But actually, Arco take credit cards now, right? But even they might go and pay cash because they hit you with the fee for using credit, which is total madness. But if you can do that with the good credit, like right now, my sister can buy one of these homes for 50 grand, 500 a month, all day long. They would be like, "Oh, take two, please." Now steak with the beans and rice, like KRS-One. So now you're bringing in 10 grand, but there's the risk. You got to find them. You got to put them there, and you got to, oh, Lord, is it going to work? Is somebody going to stay? To make money on these houses, you only need somebody to stay 3 nights out of 30. I'm talking brand new house, all glass. Stillbox is one of the companies. The front is all glass. So when you wake up, you're looking out the window at fruit trees and a pond and shit. Or in Texas, you have rivers down south and back east. Some of you guys can buy lake property on a river for next to nothing and put one of these homes with it connected to a solar panel and put a $1,200 water tank that will hold 3,000 gallons and have water and electricity. And get two people are spending $200, $300, $400 a night to stay in the middle of nowhere in one of these tiny homes. Go to Airbnb and type in tiny homes and see how much they cost. So I just told you how to make 10 grand a month. It's what I'm doing. You understand? I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing. It's just what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You got your, I don't know what's going on with your mom, but like, you understand?
If he asked her, basically asked her to borrow 70, his mom is 70, and if he told her that he wanted to borrow $100,000, she would get out the belt.
You could do that. You guys, your grandparents and your parents, they're going to die sooner than you. And you're going to leave that money for you, and it's going to get screwed off. I got one of my buddies. He's 75, and his house is worth $1 million. And me and him been talking for a couple years. He's like, "Walter, I'm ready. My house is worth $1 million. I owe whatever, next to nothing on it." I said, "Yeah, you have almost $1 million in equity in your crib, but you living check to check. But you're a millionaire, but you live in check to check because you didn't want to put it at risk." Now he's like, "Okay, I can do this." I showed him some techniques he could do. And now he's like, "Yo, I'm going to have $300,000. Now he's like, "Walter, what do we do with that?" He's getting them one of those homes, baby. But he's got to make a decision on his own. You get the point. Right. So, like, let's just say, and you got to follow the rules because there's some rules when it comes to that type of stuff. But, like, let's say he did that. And he's paying $500 a month to own something that's paying 10 or paying 5. Let's say we split it and I run it and I do everything. but I send him 25 and I get to keep 25. He pays 5. He still has $2,000 a month. What is he doing for that 2,000? Zero. He used his asset. He borrowed money against it. He put up the money and he's collecting 2,000 a month. That's it. Now, that's basic. But even after everything I just said, somebody will put some shit up on the screen about how it's not possible. Or you guys, what I just told you, you could do. And yeah, you need to stay ready, but like staying ready is cool. But when do we pull the trigger? You understand it's ready, set, go. Ready, aim, fire. So ready is there. But the problem with us, and thanks for putting that up because that's a good segue into the close, is a lot of us are ready. Some of us are even set. We're set for life. We're ready to go. I tell my sister all the time, you got a great credit score. You ain't got no bills. You got time. Like, Jesus Christ. Let's make some moves. Like, my sister could be at my house in Houston faster than I could. If I had a busted leak or a busted pipe, she could beat me there. Shouldn't she own 2 or 3 herself? You know what I'm saying? And my sister got the money and the cash and power. Now and I'm not saying she's dealing with this, but to be transparent, people struggle with this. It's fear. I just gave you the game, told you how to be financially independent. Now, getting these things started is not the easiest thing. I'll tell you, it's hard work, right? Because you got to buy the land, you got to borrow money against the land. But some of you have friends and family, parents, 70-year-old grandmama, who's in a house and she got 50,000 sitting away in the bank somewhere, or even worse, tucked away in a safe or a mattress. Do you know how many old Black people have money tucked away in the house somewhere? All day. One of my good clients was throwing away trash on the East Coast and threw a bag in a pile and heard a thump. She goes, "That ain't trash." I don't know how she knew that. Opens up the bag and it's $100 bills. And she paid me with some of those for my financial planning fee. Because I helped her mama get her shit together. And I helped her mama, and she's getting a check to this day from her mama's estate. And she used to loan her mama money. Now her mama is from the grave sending her a check every month. And her mama was scared as hell. Do you know what I'm saying? But we got over the fear and boom. Here we go. Legacy created. Wealth created. All of us could do that. So go to your parents. A lot of your parents have money, but you're too afraid to bring up the subject. People say, "Oh, Black people, we don't talk about money at the table." Well, that's dumb. That's insanity. When I go to dinner with my white and my Jewish friends, what we talk about at the table? Money. And not that just money, "Oh, I got this much money." No, we talk about what to do with it. I had dinner with my boy Steady B. He's white, his wife is Filipino, and he wearing my ass out about money. I told him, like, yo, let's pull the trigger already. But we having drinks, and I just drink a little bit because I'm trying not to drink. But we're talking about money the whole time. His wife, we at the laptop, we're looking for a car, we moving money around. What if I get the car, finance it, flip that money, buy something, and have that? I'm like, this is the conversation we having. Sunday morning. We haven't even had breakfast yet. That's what we need to be doing. And some of you guys follow rappers. What do rappers talk about? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I can have DJ Quick right now. That's a hit song. But like some of y'all don't follow advice. Eric B and Rakim, don't nothing move but the money. Wu-Tang, who I've met the resident at 36 Chambers in New York. Cream moves everything around me. But yet we don't pull the trigger. I don't get it. I just gave y'all game. All y'all in 6 months could quit your job. And you don't have to go out and buy a Range Rover. Go out and buy a Toyota Corolla. You can go to some of these auto auctions and buy a car for $4,000, put it on Turo, and it will pay you $50 a day, $40 a day for $4,000. You can swipe your credit card. I told my sister this. She can swipe her credit card and go out and buy 2 of those little Fiats. Those little, I'm talking about, little 500s. 2 of those little Fiats for $4,000 or $5,000 each, and rent them out at $40 a day. What is the credit card payment on $8,000? It's $200.
Roughly.
$200, maybe three. Just say it's $300 because somebody gonna be like, oh, it's three. It's $300 to borrow $8,000. Actually, you can borrow $10,000 for $300 because when you borrow money on a credit card, the payment is generally 2 to 3% of the balance. That's the monthly payment. So if you're doing that and you're paying $300 a month, but you have two cars that are parked on your street, and 10 times a month they're rented out at $40. How much money is that? 40 times 10 is 400 times 2, $800. Give Turo their money so you end up with 6. How much money do you get to keep after you pay your credit card? $300. So you borrow 10 off the credit card, you buy 2 cars, put them on Turo, and you're getting that money every month. Guess what, you guys? Who has the pink slip to these cars? Okay, take that shit down. Like Turo, yeah, some of y'all like people tear shit up. You loan them your car, your shoes. That's the shit I'm talking about.
But don't Turo pay you out for the cars?
Hell yes. If somebody takes my Range Rover and they wreck it, Turo is cutting me a check. Stop with the fear shit. Some of y'all tear your own shit up. Like, of course, people, they gonna tear your shit up. So what? Do you know if somebody borrows my car and they don't fill it up with gas, Turo will charge their ass top rate and cut me a check. I wish somebody would borrow my car and not fill it up. Because I make more money when they don't fill it up. Because Turo sends me money that's way over and above. You ever rented a car and they say, oh, well, if you don't bring it back, we're going to charge you $8 a gallon. Even though gas is only $3, they charge you for their time. I hope you bring it back empty. And I tell people all the time when they take my Range Rover because it's beautiful. And I'm like, bye, girl. Go get your money. You know what I'm saying? If they wreck my car, I will get more money than I paid for it. I don't hope they get hurt. I always tell people, if you wreck it, do it all the way. I tell everybody that. If you wreck this car, do it all the way. The BMW, remember Diab picked up the BMW from Houston? I got hit on the way to the house. I paid $5,500 for it. The insurance company paid us $9,600 on Monday. $9,600. So, now I'm not saying I'm happy. I'm actually happy I got hit because they cut me a check, my back on hill, and I doubled my money on my ride. Now, I didn't feel when I was in the ambulance, I was feeling kind of woozy. But the point I'm making is things get damaged. That's what insurance is for. I Airbnb my house. That's how I met Asia. She was one of my guests. I don't know what happened, but now she lives with me. But I rented out 2 of my rooms. People are like, well, what if they destroy your house? Airbnb has $1 million policy. They will cut me a check. They burn down my house and the shit in it, Airbnb will pay for it. All my stuff will be brand new. And I can afford to move. I wish they would. No, I don't want to get hurt in it. See what I'm saying? So you guys, that's the fear I'm talking about. Do you know how big Turo is? Do you know how huge Turo and Airbnb is? You can do Turo and Airbnb, right? Some of y'all got extra bedrooms and an extra car. You can Turo your house and Airbnb your shit tonight, but you won't because you're worried about somebody tearing it up. That is poor people thinking. I just told you how to retire. Give your boss the middle finger, and you're worried about somebody tearing your shit up. Yeah, you don't deserve to have it. Y'all gonna make me light a candle up and turn to Kevin Samuels on the money side.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't gonna do that. You get the point. Damn, like the abuse you take from that dude. Anyways, so just try it. If it does, and here's what I was saying before that comment came up and like through the whole comment. This shit always throws you in. This is the devil. You guys, if you believe in the devil, that was it. Because I'm giving you the game and you hit me with the whack ass comment. This is why black people don't have shit. Because we're getting hit with all these side things that got nothing to do with the money. What I was going to say is if you swipe your credit card and you buy 2 cars with your credit card, guess who got the pink slips? That's a question. You can answer it.
You do.
If I swipe I have to stand up because that's a new dance. I'm going to call it the swipe. You know what I'm saying? Don't steal that. Give credit where credit is due. If you swipe your credit card and buy 2 fiats and they pay you $40 a day times 10, what do we say that was 400 times
Yeah.
2, 800 minus Turo, you get to keep 6, pay your credit card 3. Your credit card, it's a non-secured loan, which means you get the pink slip for both of those cars. You can take your black ass to Navy Federal and you paid 4 for the car. They will give you 8. Now you got $16,000. They got the pink slips. You got 2 cars on Turo that are making you $300 a month after the payment, and Navy Federal just giving you $16,000. Now you got $16,000, 2 cars, $300 a month. The question is, what do you do with the $16,000? Could you buy 4 more of these fiats? And I roll up your hood and I see 6 fiats lying down the street at $400 a month. That's $2,400 a month. That will pay. And I know I've been to my sister's crib. I know that will pay her mortgage, her rent, all her utilities, and her car, water, gas. And it will pay for everything that takes place in her house. $2,400. We'll take care of everything in that house, including the car and the driveway. So you telling me, I'm just telling you what to do? Now, how much money did you come out of pocket with just now to do that?
Nothing, because you use your credit.
Not a penny. You got 6 cars on the street making you money like a pimp or whatever y'all like to do. I'm waiting for that comment to show up. Like 6 cars lined up, and every time they leave, they're making you money, paying all your bills. Like they say, all my needs are paid for. And you hit me with the fear shit. You ought to be afraid of your thinking.
Ooh.
Thank God, thank God me and you not living. Man, come on, y'all. I'm sorry to be so rough, but like I'm tired of Black people with all this money and power not using it. Me and my sister had this conversation all the time. I say, God damn it, you got all that credit and you got money. It's time to move. Like seriously, some of y'all, some people have you guys' attention for $2,000-$3,000 a month. Somebody has your attention. When you go to work, when you check in, when you see your family, when you go on vacation. And I just told you with no money how to add $30,000 a year to your pocket. But here come the comment about the floating money is evil and all that stuff. Let them tear it up. I've been through some of y'all neighborhoods. My neighborhood, one of my neighbors, that grass is high to the sky. I'm like, that ain't cool. Like you tearing your own shit up. Like, come on. Like, so we have to get rid of the fear. And you know what fear does? It stresses you out. Even talking about this shit stresses me out. Because I'm like, when you take somebody that's doing well, and I'm not saying that I am doing well. Fuck it, I am doing well. I'm doing better than I was. And I told my assistant this. She was hitting me with this, oh my God, my parents are shit and my life sucks. I said, you know what happens? If you take somebody that's on a higher level mentally and you mix with somebody that's on a lower level, you motherfuckers meet in the middle. And I ain't trying to go there again. So get your shit together, rise up, and keep it moving, or find another spot. And I bring her, and you could ask her. That was my conversation. So some of you guys are up here, but then you fuck with people that are down here, and you end up in the middle. And then because you're comfortable in the middle, the next time you catch somebody low, you go down to the middle. Before you know it, you own the ground. I know for a fact people in hip hop preach that same thing. I was at Snoop's house in Claremont. This Negro lived up with the whites. If you go to his house, your nose will bleed. He says it all the time. I got a house next to Sheena. He lived next door to Sheena Easton. He's a hip hop shoot 'em up rapper, at least used to be, talking about I live next to one of the whitest women in the world. Nobody calls Snoop on it. I've been to his house in Claremont, watching him get his hair braided, talking to him about money. Like Snoop, we was chilling, whatever. But like, they talk. Ice Cube said having a nice hood having nice shit in the hood is like inviting ants to a picnic. When you get higher level, move and be around people that are doing better. Magic Johnson said it himself. You know what I do with my friends and family is I give them money. I don't loan them money because I ain't gonna get it back. He elevates himself, and then what he does is he does what charities do: is they give money from above. Right? Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are donating most of their wealth to charity. But how do you think they got the money first? They went to work. Tyler Perry donates money. I don't know how much he gives, but I'm sure Tyler Perry gives back, right?
Mm-hmm.
James has a school. Oprah Winfrey has a school. They do things for the Black community. But do you think LeBron would have all this money to give away if he listened to the people on the bottom tell him he can't do it? Oh, go to college, don't go to. We're going to the league. What if he didn't do that? What if he? And that's a commercial on CNBC, by the way. I see every 45 minutes that commercial. Have you seen the commercial I'm talking about, D?
Going to the ship.
No, see, LeBron James is talking to his younger self.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
That's a cool commercial, right?
Yeah.
What if he listened to people that told him not to go? Don't go to the league. Yeah. Okay. Don't go to the league and get 10 million, 20 million. What's he make a year? I don't know. Whatever he makes. It's crazy. LeBron James is so rich. It is mind-blowing. The interest on LeBron's money will pay for his house in perpetuity.
I want to say he's a billionaire now.
He's on his way. He hangs out with Warren Buffett. You'll see him chilling.
You go to the movies now, you see most of the movies is produced by his production company. Was it Bronze Studios or something like that?
Yep. What if LeBron would have listened to the people on the bottom? He wouldn't be in the league. He wouldn't have a movie. I mean, like, and I listened to people do this to Barack Obama. When Barack Obama signed the deal with Netflix and Spotify, they were like, oh, he's selling out. To who? To being rich? Like, I hear people talking about Obama like, oh my, how he cares about money. Yeah, that's why he's president. So he could move the money. Obama, does he care about Black people? Sure, you wouldn't know by his policies, but like he cares about Black people. But like he made a move. And that's what people talked about, how negative it was. We need to focus on the money and always, every time you get up, just go, where's the money? Where are my kids first? Like make sure my kids are cool, but like it takes money to make sure the kids, for those of you who have kids, isn't it cool to see your kids taken care of? If your kids need something, they can come to you. My kids know they can come to me. I don't like it. My kids call up, be like, caller ID, thank you, hallelujah, block. No, I'm just kidding. And my daughter Brittany has my other kids call me for shit. And then she hop on the phone, I got you, right? But isn't it cool to be able to do that? And it don't take a lot. I can give my daughter $20 and it will change her attitude. You know what I'm saying? So those things are important, but they all do take money. So instead of coming with the excuses, pull the trigger. I just told you how to build wealth, how to quit your job. I want to take this computer outside. I have 6 BMWs, a Mercedes, and Lord knows parked in front of my neighbor. My neighbors are like, what is this Negro doing? I'm buying them. Buy a BMW for $4,000, sell it for $6,000. I mean, people watching this, my Facebook call me all the time, like, yo, I want a car. Buy them for $4,000, sell them for $6,000. You know what I'm saying? You do that twice, you got $4,000 in profit. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of 1 BMW, I got 2. That's how I ended up with 6 in my driveway. So now somebody says, oh, I got the BMW you haven't listed. I'm like, take your pick. And because somebody was like, oh, you selling cars? I am. I had somebody close to me who's like, oh, you sell cars, you financial planner to Kanye West and blah, blah, blah. I said, kiss my ass. I would shovel donkey doo-doo from Jesus himself if it paid me $250 a year. Some of y'all got titleitis. My boy P. Iverson always talk about titleitis. Y'all care about titles. That's one thing I hate when I watch some of our movies is they always have a lawyer and a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Morris Chestnut is, you know what I'm saying? And Morris is a cool brother, but it's those 2 roles. And we get titleitis. Being a lawyer and a doctor is cool. But most of the lawyers I know are stressed the hell out. They ain't seeing their family, and they're not paying lawyers what they used to pay them. You know what I'm saying? And your daughter was going into medicine. But if she interviews doctors, they'll be, oh, hell to the no. You're going to medicine at your own risk. We're not making no money. We got all these rules. And if I help somebody come back to life and I damage them in the process, then I get sued. My malpractice insurance is on the table. You know what doctors are doing? Creating side hustles. So get rid of the title itis. I don't care if you sell these nuts. If I can make $500,000 selling nuts, I'll do it. I don't care. It don't matter. That's it. And yo, you guys, like, we have the power. You get 10 black men in a room, suits, as a brain trust, and we're sitting down to make moves. Do you know how powerful that is? Can you imagine having 10 black men in a room, sitting there, smoking a cigar, whatever, and making money moves? First of all, how often do you see that? Number one. It needs to be more. Just imagine that. You walk into the room and 10 black women sitting at the table making money moves. I got the credit. You have the money. You have the location. You have the contacts. You got the people. We all got something that's called bring to the table. That's why businesses do shit at the table, because you bring shit to the table. That is, you ever heard that?
Yes.
I got shit to bring to the table. That's where it comes from. I brought these nuts to the table. You know what I'm saying? You got the nuts. I got the person. You got them for $1. You got the dude that grow the nuts. I got the person that's going to give me 10, and we're going to split the money from these nuts. That's the nut table. And sometimes you got to be nuts to think outside the box. It's that simple. Let's come together. Let's buy something. I don't care what it is. And if you have an idea that's good, I'll invest in that. And if you know anybody starting a clothing line, Verbal Herb, we need people for that. We got candle company. We got lit candle company. We need people for that. We need people for all kinds of shit. Now I'm trying to hire black people first. But like, I'm looking, I swear you guys, I'm looking for black people because like my assistant is black. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like my neighbor, his kid is black. He's half black. He looks like Bruno Mars. And I'm trying to get him, you know, like I like to see the kid on the hustle. You know what I'm saying? But I got a Mexican kid and my kid's best friend. My son's best friend is in the house. He helping me in my car business. I offered that position to I don't know how many black people before he took it. And he's here every day. I got to kick his ass out of my house. I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock. You got to go. You see what I'm saying? But people will say, well, how come you don't have a black dude? I offered it to 10 black dudes first. But is it really my fault? Is it fair to me to have to, in order for me to make money, I got to go to a black person first? I know we say keep it in the family and the color, but at what cost? Some of y'all stressing yourself out with your health by trying to deal with your people only. Sometimes you need to deal with whoever can do the job and then come back and get your people. You ever had to pick somebody up? Swing back and pick him up. Hey, man, I'll come back and get you. I ain't going to be late. That's what you got to do. Come back, and it's okay to come get your people, but don't put yourself in a position where I got to help my people. It's got to be black owned. Yeah, I want it to be black owned, but I'm not going to kill myself trying to do it. That's where I think we could do better collectively. So in closing, you guys, go out and do what I said. If you don't have good credit, hit me up. Here's the deal. I'll help you build your credit. It's $100 a month. I will help you. It's not 75 or 56. It's 100. I'll stripe you every month till my website's back up. We got hacked. We're still keeping it moving. It's $100 a month. I will help you build your credit. We will get you going, right? But don't hit me with because I get all, hey, can you hook a brother up? No, nigga, I'll hook you up with $100 a month fee, which I think is cheap. Like, come on, y'all. We got to do better as a people.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're going to go. I'm going to get back online. I'm going to help my sister find her 6 fee. Or you getting the must. What are you going to get anyway?
I don't know yet.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But she got the money to do it. That's the now having the money. She's ready. She's set. Now we need to go. That's it. Like it's you guys. I promise you, and I'll close with this. It is scary. I promise you. I bought that Range Rover and it's $900 a month payment. My girlfriend was like, "Oh no, that's like, why would you do that? That doesn't like." She was like scared, and I was like, "We got to pull the trigger. Me and you make too much money not to be in a beautiful car. It don't make no sense." And we're making money from it. It was scary, but now my Range Rover, when it's not on Turo, I drove it today for the first time in a week. It's been sitting in front of my neighborhood for a week. I haven't even driven it. So I went from, oh my God, what am I going to do, to man, that ain't nothing because I don't let it consume me anymore. Right? Me and my assistant, we were online looking for a Porsche. It's like, yo, now let's move to something else because do people rent Porsches on Turo? All day. Convertible drop top, you can buy a Porsche Carrera black drop top for 30 grand at the auction in Riverside. 30 grand. It's an older one. It's an old 6 or 7 or something like that. But for 30 grand, you can have a drop top Porsche, 195 miles an hour. So now you get a range in the Porsche in the driveway and somebody else is paying for them both. And your neighbors is like, damn, he got a Range Rover, a Porsche, and an S500. Oh, and his girlfriend's got a Tesla. All of them on Turo. All financed with other people's money. I don't have a dime in the deal with none of these cars because I did what I did a year ago. Told everybody, let's get our credit together. And that's it. No money out of pocket. Leverage is king. And whoever's telling you not to use leverage, block them from all social media, phone, move away from them if they live on your neighborhood. Get away from them. Seriously, that is weakness. Use leverage, but do it properly.
Absolutely.
Don't and buy stupid shit with it. So, and that will help your health. Some of you guys want a beautiful Mercedes. Go out and get it. You don't have to buy it new. You can buy a used Mercedes 2015 S550, beautiful car for 35 grand. Beautiful car. Imagine getting inside of an S550 every day and knowing that it's not costing you money.
Absolutely. So, all right, y'all, we are over our time. We love and appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much, Walter. He will be back next Wednesday with more good talking points about how to move the needle financially. Again, you guys will have a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Thank you all so much. You guys did the super chat. Love and appreciate you guys for becoming members and all that. That is still an option. We will see y'all. When I say we, I mean Donovan and I. We're going to do our podcast on Saturday, and then we're gonna, I think, do a live on Sunday as well. Donovan is still in the DR; he'll be back next week, but we are going to do a live, and so I will see y'all later. You guys be good, do something fun, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's see here, Walter. So, how can they get a hold of you?
You can I'll give you my phone number. I mean, if you're gonna use my phone, text me, like, come correct. My number is 951-743-6226. You can hit me up on Facebook under Walter Lee Coulter. You can direct message me there. My email address is wlcoulter@gmail. I mean, I have several emails, but that's one that you can use. There's several ways to go about it. So, here's a sister girl cleaning company in California just sent me a bunch of her reviews. I'm gonna call her back. I like that. So yeah, you can hit me on my phone, but if you do hit me, just come about the money. I'm not into free advice anymore. I used to do that, but people, when they pay for stuff, they treat it better. You can call me any time of day. I don't care if it's 6 a.m., 4 a.m. If it's about the money, and let me be more specific about income and helping you, then I'm all for it.
All right, y'all. So we'll see y'all later.
Peace out. Deuces.